Thanks, anchors. Many major news organizations are turning in their press credentials before exiting the Pentagon in protest against the Department of War, formerly called the Department of Defense Policy on Reporting Media. On September 20th, the Department of War sent out a 17-page memo outlining new press rules that journalists must follow. One of the main points states that information must be approved for public release by an appropriate authorizing official before it is released, even if it's unclassified. This sparked outrage among the press. On October 6th, the Department of War released a 21-page memo which listed more restrictions for journalists, such as restricting access to certain floors, requirement of escorts, and required journalists to sign the policy by October 15th, or risk getting their press privileges revoked.
I absolutely think it's an overreach of power, and I think it's a scary one at that, because it's an infringement on the First Amendment of the United States Constitution, and the Pentagon don't get to decide which amendments to the United States Constitution or which aspects of the United States Constitution they want to abide by.
In a joint statement sent out by the top 5 major news networks, the rules would hinder the journalist's ability to keep the nation and the world informed of important national security issues.
They're really trying to prevent leaks of information, protect government missions. It's kind of the argument they're making. For the press, they're going to have tougher times accessing people, sources, that type of thing.
In a meeting with reporters, President Donald Trump has sided with the policy, remarking that the press is very dishonest. He also goes on to add that the restrictions were necessary because Secretary of Defense Hegseth finds the press to be very disruptive.
The first step in building a totalitarian regime is to silence the press. And if we start silencing the press or infringing upon their right to report freely, we are sliding down a dangerous slope that I think should concern every American.
As the Department of War's new policy reshapes the relationship between the Pentagon and the press, aspiring young journalists are reminded of the importance of transparency, accountability, and courage in storytelling, values that remain at the core of a free press. This has been Nguyen, and back to the anchors in the studio.